Okay, folks, the previous video was on setting up the Playberry folder that the student brings to and from lessons. You'll remember that we had our pouch for cards for their reading, spelling, concept, and later on awkward squad cards, the book that they do their writing in, dotted thirds, the section for all the worksheets that they do here in Lessons with Me, section for their homework, and a section for their benchmarks. So that was that. That's the student's deal. Here's my deal around record keeping. So for each student I have in the program, I create a manila folder. Now, I have this one I already have for a student, but I had to obviously protect their confidentiality. So I stuck over the top some cards. This is just student, and I write parent name there, just so I, in the beginning, remember the parent's name. So what goes inside this folder? Right. Because one of the early things I do, or until I can stop, is I do phonological awareness training with these kids as part of the Playberry lesson. So this is from David Kilpatrick's Equipped for Reading Success. And this is a little kind of checklist of their phonological awareness development. So I'll give them the past to pre-test them on their way in, work out what level we're coming in on, and then the parents and I will get busy on the 1-minute activities for homework and in sessions with me to quickly get them up to phonemic proficiency. So that goes there. I also have behind me, the kids see it, just the same kind of setup, just so I can show kids how far they've gone. I can actually point to this and go, look, this is where you started, this is where we've got you. This is really important work because if you can't do this stuff, reading and spelling with letters and sounds is really hard. So that's the little tracker for their phonological proficiency development or phonological awareness development. I staple at the back, if they've come with an assessment from an educational psychologist, I staple it up the back because I'll often refer to it. If I know the psychologist well and trust them well, trust their assessments, I'll use their assessments as my baseline for reading, spelling, comprehension, etc. So that staples up the back. On the back, because we do alphabet work with kids in the Playberry, you know, putting out the alphabet wooden letters, there's my uppercases and there's the lower cases in a good old Mentos jar. I will check whether my kids know the alphabet. Now, kids come to me often being able to sing the alphabet, but as a lot of you would know, being able to sing the alphabet and actually being able to put out a wooden rainbow of alphabet letters, by the way, we sell those alphabet letters, in uppercase and lowercase, being able to put out a wooden rainbow and to be able to say A, B, C, D. Now that's a different matter. These kids often get the orientation of the letters wrong. So they're not corresponding one-to-one with the letter name and what it looks like. So it's very important we check a few things. Now I nicked this from Lynn Stone's Reading for Life, but I want to know if they can recite the alphabet song. Can they recite it like a robot? So instead of saying A, B, C, D, can they say A, B, C, D? So, you know, because often the song gets them over the hump and they will say LMNOP thinking that it's one letter, and you don't pick that up. You know, they need to be able to say LMNOP. So you know that they know that they're all different letters. So I will keep an idea of when I've checked them and when I have decided they're proficient at that. A lot of work we do with our kids is before and after, in front of and behind work. So once they've put out the rainbow, can they, if I say the letter in front of D, the letter behind C, the letter after J, can they quickly and easily identify those? Because if our kids don't have this idea of before and after, or in front of and behind sorted out, they're going to have awful trouble working with spelling rules that say things like K in front of E, I, or Y. Or we use CK after a short vowel at the end of a one-syllable word. So you can see how this before and after stuff really needs to be locked in. Okay, so then what I will do on this chart, I'll start my kids on the uppercase letters because they're much harder to reverse. I'll write the date and we might as well write it in for the student today because I'm going to be testing them. What is the date today? It is 7th of the 9th, 21, and I'll do a little UC for uppercase there so I know what I'm checking. And as they put out the rainbow, I will be following a little code. If the letter is placed down correctly, just a tick. I would write an R if they've reversed that letter. That means they've put the letter the wrong orientation. If they reverse it and quickly self-correct it, I might put a little RC. And if 2 letters end up in each other's places, often happens with M and N. If I see that reversal, I'll just do a little backward forward arrow to show that they were mixed up. Once they've put the letters out, just really quickly, I know this wasn't meant to be a lesson on alphabet, but they will use the Toblerone to check their orientation for upper and lowercase, and they'll do their own self-correcting, then I'll check it. So the alphabet skills chart goes up the back. Now I'll have kids well into the program still nutting out their alphabet and getting it right. It doesn't mean you stop them at teaching point 1 until they're absolutely proficient on upper and lowercase. No, it's just a work in progress, and there it is. So there's our folder on the inside. I keep my Kilpatrick assessment, and on the back alphabet skills. And that will slowly fill up with their bits and pieces that I need to hold on to, like their awkward squad, in other words, their awkward squad sheet for words that irregular spelling words that I teach them later on in the program, and any other records that I need to keep on them will go in here. So that goes with my student folders, and that's what I keep track of. What else I need you to know? Right, assessment. Okay, each of my kids has an assessment sheet in a folder. I'll try not to give anyone's, here we go, I'll cover this up. So here's a student, he's just started with me. So at TSD, I show you these, teaching students with dyslexia, but students' date of birth, their chronological age, their reading ages come in with me. I assess the kid using the YARC. So I got this kid's results myself. It's always good to get a good read on them and see for yourself just what they're doing. I got this youngster's spelling age and his comprehension age. So every year I get an assessment from them. I see what their growth has been in 12 months. For some kids, I'll do it in 6 months. But I because I've been doing this for a while, I know how they're tracking. I don't need to be sucking up all their intervention time by constantly assessing them, and weighing a pig never makes it any fatter. The teaching needs to be done in times with me. So yes, I will. Most of my kids I check 12 monthly, which just confirms the growth that I think I'm seeing with them, or I know I'm seeing with them. I keep their benchmark scores down here. Yeah, so that's my folder for my kids that I keep their assessment information in. Oh, next to the trunk cards. In we go. Oh, back into the... Okay, so thanks for watching. Hope that's been helpful.